Simon, contested possession, a trademark of the footy club. I think -23 in the first quarter, sort of set the tone all night. Was it the key failing, for a better word, tonight?
Oh, certainly early. I think we acknowledge that -20 early is not going to help you, and they gave them a 4-goal lead right from the start, so that made it tough. But I think we acknowledge that the scoreboard's nowhere near what we want it to be. To lose by that amount is disappointing. But yeah, you're right, it started right at the start of the game with the -20, but for the rest of the game, that was probably a phase of a game that actually started to pick up. There were probably other areas that ended up letting us down over the duration of the game.
Is it positive a sense that you've got some of your better players playing better footy tonight? Clayton Oliver, for example, and you had more forward 50 entries. I know that can be corrected with, some training.
Yeah, look, from last week to this week, we had a lot more players playing better. But, we had 70-odd entries, 72 entries, which is a lot. And we need to connect better forward to centre. We need to win more contests ahead of the ball. We need to move the ball in a way that's going to connect better to maximise those entries. And ultimately, they maximised all of theirs. They had 48 entries and kicked 20 goals 6. And we need to do that better as a club. That's 126 points off 48 entries. That's a lot. So we need to fix that up pretty quickly.
And how frustrated were you early in the third quarter? I think for 10 or 11 minutes you basically dominated the play but couldn't score. They went up the other end and scored, and the final margin was 80 points. I mean, it sort of summed up the night in a sense.
Yeah, look, we felt we fought pretty hard, especially in the second quarter. I think we had more entries, wasn't much score in the second quarter. In the third quarter, I thought we dominated for the first 15 minutes. I think we had 11 or 12 entries, had 5 shots at goal and kicked 2 points. And then it went down the other end and they kicked 3 goals in 5 minutes and the game was pretty much done. So ultimately the scoreboard blew out. And as I said, the scoreboard for us looks terrible, and it should, and we're hurting as players and as a club. To lose by 80 points is it's not the way that you want to be. But there are some things that are starting to head in the right direction.
What's the update on Stephen May?
He's got a groin, so he'll we'll have a look at that. He'll get some scans. So we don't know the extent of it. Probably be, he'd be doubtful for this week. Obviously, he didn't finish out the game, so we'll have a good look at that and see where that lobs on Monday.
So you had the second quarter, then came back onto the ground, sort of flip in the second third. How did that all pan out?
Yeah, it was relatively early, sort of late in the first quarter, I think early second, and then sort of had some work done on it, came back on the ground and just didn't feel like he had any power. So we ended up putting him out for the game. Obviously at that stage the game was pretty much dead. We couldn't get a result, so put him on ice. We just got to get better at training it. Our fundamentals let us down. Too often that we miss kicks, missed handballs, cough the ball up, in critical times. So that's something we've got to keep working at. Find a forward structure that works with each other. That is a positive. 71 entries is a positive for us as a club. But we need to connect better and maximise our opportunities, just like Geelong did. They maximised all their opportunities they had, and it made the scoreboard look ugly.
Lockhart was a positive tonight, particularly early. Is it true that 3 weeks ago you called him, put him on the senior list, and I think he was unpacking boxes or cartons or something? It's an incredible story.
Yeah, it's a good story, Jay. He's come from Tassie, he's played at Casey, he's worked incredibly hard. He changed his job so he could, he's unpacking boxes and to maximise his time at Casey and his footy. And we put him on the list 15 days ago. We'd watched him pretty closely for a couple of years, and he certainly had the right attitude and the right intent right from the start, and he was a positive for us.
How do you turn things around before Friday night's crunch game this?
We're just going to keep going. As I said, we moved forward a bit this week. The scoreboard didn't reflect it, and we're incredibly disappointed to be at 0-2 and obviously losing by 80 points. But there's 20 games to go, so we're going to keep going. We're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep working. If we can have 71 entries next week and connect better, the scoreboard will look a bit different.
It's the fact that you started 2 and 3 last year and turned things around, give you a bit of confidence that you can come back from a slow start?
Look, absolutely. There's 20 games. You don't look too far ahead in this game. We look week to week and keep getting better. As a group, we're in it together. Our supporters, I know they'll be disappointed, but they need to know how hard we're working. And the scoreboard wasn't right tonight. It didn't look great for us as a club, and we're awfully disappointed in that. But we'll keep working. We'll keep working.
But are you worried at round 2, your DNA, that contested ball seems to have not disappeared, but it's gone wandering early in the season when we didn't expect it to. Are you surprised that's the situation?
I think we got it back in the last 3 quarters in some areas. We've got to do it better at each end of the ground. But I think the intent's there. Some of our technical elements need to get better. But we ended up getting beaten early, and that cost us on the scoreboard, and then we're chasing our tail. But our DNA is coming back. But obviously the scoreboard didn't reflect it tonight.
Try a few things, set-ups and stuff like running splitter off the back of the defensive 50. Is that something you'll keep looking at doing as the game goes on and sort of go back to traditions?
Yeah, we'll keep looking at a few things, Ben, to get better. Yeah.
What's the rationale of the coin toss towards the end where it wasn't done like the first quarter?
I think our skippers probably thought it was blown down that end, so that's probably why they went there. I didn't think it was. I didn't actually cross my mind, to be honest. I thought we'd kick him with it.
Did you see the Brayshaw clash with Rowan as just a 50-50, both going hard for the ball, which is characteristic of them sort of situation?
Yeah, it looked like that to me. Both players were really committed to that contest. It was a pretty big contest. There was a lot of intent from both players, so I haven't had a good look at the actual, how it looked on TV. But on the, seeing it live, it was just 2 guys going pretty hard at the footy.
Angus,
Blindsided by the start, or were you always going to be a little bit rusty to start, given the amount of surgeries and the late starts of the pre-season?
Yeah, we're certainly not putting excuses on that. We're trying to get some continuity with our players. Yep, we haven't had an ideal continuity, and maybe that's leading to a lack of connection. But we'll keep working at that. But to be 0-2 is disappointing for us as a club. We want to be better. We don't want to be losing by 80 points. It's not acceptable for where we want to go and what we want to achieve. But we're going to keep going. We're going to keep looking for ways to get better, and that's what you do as a club. We can either get sad, we need to get grumpy and get better. Oh yeah, look, there's some guys that played AFL last week that went back and played pretty well. Braden Preuss continues to play pretty well. Declan Kelty, Billy Stretch, Corey Wagner. So there's a range of guys in form. They had a good result today.
Given Geelong's current form, Goody, how much of a fortress do you see this as being for them this year? It looks when you go down the lines, they cover the lines pretty well. If you try to switch on a night like tonight, it's difficult.
Yeah, look, they're a very good side. They played some good footy, and they've done it 2 weeks in a row. They were really strong in the contest, and they were good on the outside, and they really connected well. They were really efficient going inside 50. So full credit to them. They're up and going.